Hey everyone, it's Austin here. Just wanted to let you know that I recently participated in an episode of Fishin A Merfolk Podcast. And here I've went ahead and included a nice little excerpt from the podcast to share with you guys. If you'd like to catch the entire podcast, links in the descriptions below for you. Thanks everybody and enjoy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fishin, the podcast where we discuss Commander's most competitive tribe and help the whole community become better Merfolk players. I'm Kody. I'm one of the hosts of the show and not Kody Smith on Twitter. This week, not only is Matt, Jason Momoa's understudy, still not available. That's Matthew Cotto 8 on Twitter. The other co-host, Dorian, he's in the middle of moving, so he's a little bit busy, and you can find him on Twitter as Crinkle Biscuit. This week, I am joined by a guest who we've had on the show to play some on stream. We've had him on to play Commander with us, as well as I've played Commander on his channel. So we've interacted in the YouTube and Twitch space, but we haven't quite interacted in the podcast space. So I would like to welcome our guest Austin from CMDRNinetyNine. How's it going, Austin?
It's going great. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's we've both are big Commander people, and we've pinged each other, like I said, for some games, and it's always been a joy to play with you, and so it's really great to have you on.
Yeah, this should be fun to talk about some Commander and Merfolk. I mean, we are primarily a Commander channel, and we kind of talk about, Commander as well as play on Moto and in paper. So it's fun to be able to kind of narrow in on a particular tribe and narrow in a particular subset. I am a big fan of tribal commanders, so this is going to be a great opportunity to be able to discuss that with you.
And before we get to discussing those things, where can people find your content on the internet?
So youtube.com/CMDR99, that's CMDR and then 99 spelled out. We're also on twitch.tv under the same handle, as well as we've got a Twitter account at CommanderXCIX, which is CMDR99 in Roman numerals. A little fun handle thing there.
Oh, yeah. You got to have fun with it when you can. And remember that you can support this show by going to patreon.com/fishcastmtg, where for the low cost of $2 a month, you are helping us tremendously, and you are getting the show a few days early and ad-free. So we like to, I'm getting caught back up on episodes, so I will be ahead of time. By the time this goes out, we'll be ahead again. Thank you so much to all of our Patreon subscribers, as well as following us on twitch.tv/fishcastmtg, as well as buying playmats and shirts and all that from Inked Gaming. Follow the link in the description. All of Austin's links as well, CMDR99's links, will be in the description as well. But make sure to check out our playmats and stuff. They're super cool, as well as our tokens from Cartermajigs, because those are cool to have for Commander. So we're gonna go first off into the random Merfolk, which is a segment that we always do, just kind of picking a Merfolk from Merfolk's history. We pick a Merfolk from Magic's history, and we talk about it. So this week you picked number 99, which is very on brand.
Yep.
And I sent you the card in Skype. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, so this is Herald of Secret Streams. It comes from Ixalan. It's 3 and a colorless for a 2/3 Merfolk warrior with creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them. Can't be blocked. For me, this seems on brand with kind of the bulk of what we're talking about. Merfolk synergize really well with +1/+1 counters, right?
Yeah, especially in the blue-green. When we're talking about the +1, the recent Ixalan Merfolk, where this Merfolk came from, that is definitely a huge thing, is putting counters on things and going wide and kind of just, going over your opponent's or through your opponent's creatures, thanks to creatures like Herald of Secret Streams.
Yeah, I like this card a lot in a lot of +1/+1 counter strategies. It doesn't have to necessarily pertain directly to Merfolk, but it's always good to have that nice addition. They're not being able to block.
So, like you said, it just says creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them can't be blocked. So this does not necessarily mean that it's limited strictly to Merfolk, like you said. I know that the new legend, or the not new, but from the Commander precons, the Snakes deck with Cassetto. This seems like that would be a kind of card that I would slide in there almost immediately, because that's big on going wide with a lot of smaller dudes and then putting counters on things. And it actually seems like it would work really well in the deck that we're going to be talking about today as well, which I was really excited that this card was relevant to our discussion. But yeah, so I was really glad that this card synergized with our main topic very well, because we're going to be discussing a commander that cares about +1/+1 counters.
Right. Yeah. This one, so I guess I'll just get into it, talk about what the commander is and kind of...
Yeah, I mean, so Herald of Secret Streams, it's great in Commander. I think it saw maybe some Standard play when it was in Standard, but I think it's just too high costed for anything but Commander.
Yeah, 4 is reasonable in Commander. That's a nice, on curve, you can easily kind of get around your opponent's board when you just put that on the table and you've got a bunch of creatures with +1/+1 counters. For 4 mana, you've just been able to get a direct attack in. It's nice.
Yeah, totally. I think it's a great card. So when I reached out to you to see if you wanted to come on the show, you said that you had a commander that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I thought the appropriate choice for this discussion was the Kumena Tyrant of Orazca. For us and our content, the very first gameplay video that we released of our Multiversus series, so that's Season 1, Episode 1, I played Kumena Tyrant of Orazca on that. In that gameplay video. And so just to start things off, I'll tell you what Kumena does and kind of how I've strategized with this deck. So Kumena Tyrant of Orazca is for a colorless, a green, and a blue for a legendary creature Merfolk Shaman. It's a 2/4 that has 3 abilities. Tap another untapped Merfolk you control. Kumena Tyrant of Orazca can't be blocked this turn. Tap 3 untapped Merfolk you control, draw a card, and tap 5 untapped Merfolk you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk you control. For my sake, I really enjoy tribal decks and tribal commanders, and so seeing something as flavorful as the Kumena and being able to interact with Merfolk so well, I definitely wanted to build around this. I think the abilities that I really focused in on were the card draw and the +1/+1 counters on your Merfolk, finding ways to untap them again and again and repeatedly draw cards. The deck, I think, in my particular build to start with, I kind of really had a combination of the two, Merfolk and creatures that untap Merfolk. It's an interesting strategy to be able to increase the power of your Merfolk with each untap, as well as kind of get some added value from your creatures. I'm always looking to build decks around value. I think that being able to draw extra cards or produce extra permanents or anything of the sort, I think the Simic colors already do a great job of doing that, and so being able to play that with a tribal theme is just even better.
Oh, for sure. One thing that you kind of said that it triggered a memory for me. It's kind of like, because of just the colors that it's in, as well as the list of abilities, it reminds me a lot of Deathrite Shaman. So I kind of always think as Kumena is almost a planeswalker just because of how many things it can do. So Deathrite Shaman, for those of you who don't know, is not necessarily a card that's played in Commander too much, but it did see a lot of Standard, Modern, and Legacy play when it was legal, because I think Deathrite Shaman is illegal in most formats or restricted, right?
Believe so. I know... in the experience of Commander, I've played it in very particular themes, anything that I'm running a high land count in, so I can discard or exile my own cards from my graveyard.
Yeah, so Deathrite Shaman is a Golgari, or hybrid Golgari, for an Elf Shaman that's a 1/2, and it says tap, exile target land card from a graveyard, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Black, tap, exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard, each opponent loses 2 life. Or you could pay green and tap and exile target creature from a graveyard and you gain 2 life. So there's just it's a very utility card and does a lot of things in those colors that those colors care about, and it's just such a beneficial card in those colors. If you're playing like maybe a Gitrog deck or something like that, where you just have you're playing around in people's yards a lot. But yeah, so Kumena has kind of a lot of ways you can go with it. I mean, as long as you have a majority of Merfolk in your deck, it seems like a great commander.
All right, everyone, thanks for watching. If you'd like to check the entire podcast out, we'll have a link for you in the description below. Until then, see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, tell us why, share on social media, and subscribe to the channel. And you can also help us out directly by subscribing to our Patreon, where you'll be able to see new episodes of the Multiversus series before anyone else. Thank you to our current Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching.